I notice deep grooves along the sides of the path. I notice that the beetle is the only living thing on the deck. I notice the wall has moss growing on it. I notice the grass growing in the pavement is connected to the grass alongside the pavement. I notice the geese are looking in opposite directions. I notice that the houses are built in clusters. I notice that the rocks are near an old quarry. I notice that the cairn has 4 rocks facing in different directions.
Good morning, my environmental detective friends. Looking forward to doing some new investigations and detective work with you. Let's go find clues right here in our own neighborhood environment.
Welcome, my environmental detective friends. My name is Amanda, but because we're going to be in nature today, I'm going to go by my nature name, Wild Chives. Before we get started every day, it will be helpful if you bring 2 things, a pencil or something to write with, and a piece of paper or a notebook or something to write on. But if you don't have those things today, it's okay. Last time we were together, we watched a video of a baby squirrel, and we also did some observations from our sit spot in the garden. Today, we're going to watch the video of the baby squirrel again, and this time we're going to be thinking about what we observe or see in the baby squirrel's environment. Remember, the video was sent to us by our friends at Wild Care, and they were taking care of the baby squirrel because it was injured. It had a broken leg. And so they were just keeping the baby squirrel long enough for it to get better so they could release it back into the wild. And so today when you watch the video, you'll notice that the baby squirrel isn't in a natural environment, right? It's in an environment that's human-made. And so as we watch the video, you can think about what do you notice or see that is human-made or made by people, and what do you see or notice in the environment that's still from nature? And now I want to welcome a very special friend of mine, Miss French, and she's going to help us write all about the baby squirrel using different words to describe what we just saw in the video.
Hi everybody. Thank you for letting me come and be on your program. My name is Miss French, and I'm here today to do a sentence patterning chart with you. And we're going to use the topic or the subject of the video that you watched about the squirrel. And this is the American Sign Language for squirrel. When I build my sentence patterning chart, I'm going to start with my first part of speech. It's a noun. And remember, a noun is a word that names a person, a place, or a thing. And in our video, our noun was that lovely little creature called the squirrel. Today we're going to build a sentence patterning chart with the word squirrels, which means 1, 2, or more than 2 squirrels, plural. I'm going to put a picture up here to remind us that this is our topic. When I was watching the video, I said to myself, wow, there are a lot of things I notice about this squirrel. How the squirrel might feel, how it might smell, how it might sound, what I see when I look at it. All of those words that describe a noun are words that are called an adjective. And an adjective tells us what something could sound like, what it could look like, what it might smell like, or feel like. Say adjective, adjective, describing word. So I say to myself, from that video that I watched, squirrels are so, wow, they were covered with a lot of fur. That word would be furry. Say it with me, friends. Squirrels are so furry. And then I'm going to do a sketch of furry. I also noticed the color of the squirrel in that video. Squirrels are so gray. And I brought a pencil here so I could sketch. Yeah, gray. It's a color that's mixed between white and black. I also noticed in that video, that squirrel was looking all around. That squirrel was super curious. It was really exploring its environment. So I'm going to sketch some question marks here. When you're curious, you ask a lot of questions and you wonder a lot. I also, when I saw that video, I noticed that squirrel had a cast on its leg or something. That squirrel was hurt. And another word for hurt is injured. I'm going to write the word injured here, and I'm going to draw a picture of a squirrel with a sad face. Say it and do it. Injured. So in our video, we saw furry squirrels, gray squirrels, curious squirrels, and injured squirrels. Then I noticed when that squirrel was in the video, that squirrel was doing a lot of different actions. When we have an action word, that's called a verb. Say it with me, verb. When I think about all the things that squirrels can do, I say to myself, squirrels can. I saw the squirrel trying to grow up that branch. That verb is climb. And I'm going to do a sketch. That squirrel was trying to go up on that branch. I also said to myself, squirrel was looking all around, trying to figure things out. That squirrel, a squirrel can explore. Say it with me, explore. I'm going to do two big eyeballs like this, and I'm going to make this gesture, explore. I also saw in the video, squirrels, they like to eat things just like you and I do, except this squirrel, I noticed, this squirrel wasn't taking a big bite of something. This squirrel was taking a little taste. And that word is nibble. Say it with me, nibble. And I'm going to do a picture of a little mouth here because that squirrel was taking little bites of food. The last thing that I saw that squirrel doing, that squirrel was moving really quickly. And there's a word that means to move really quick. It's a verb. It's dart. Say it and do it with me, dart. And I'm going to write the word dart. And I'm going to do some action here, so I could say to myself, squirrels climb, squirrels explore, squirrels nibble, squirrels dart. Now we're going to get to the last part of our sentence patterning chart, and this part is going to tell us where was the squirrel at or what time was it. That part of speech, my friends, is called a prepositional phrase. Say it with me, prepositional phrase. And I'm going to show you the gesture for prepositional phrase. It goes like this. Prepositional phrase tells you where and tells you when. In the video, I saw that squirrel was in a cage. The squirrels that I see at my house are not in a cage, but that squirrel was injured, so that was a good spot for it. I also saw that squirrel was under a branch. And I'll do my quick sketch. Here's my branch, and the squirrel was here. Another place that squirrel was, a location. Oh, I saw some leaves that were in the video. The squirrel was near some leaves. Say it with me, near some leaves. And I'll do a quick sketch. Remember, a picture is for art, but a sketch is for your brain. It helps you remember what the words are, so I don't have to make it perfect. Another place that I saw the squirrel was on, it looked like a blanket. That's another location. At my house, I don't ever see a squirrel on a blanket. These are all the places we saw the squirrel in the video. Read them with me. We saw the squirrel in a cage. We saw the squirrel under a branch. We saw the squirrel near some leaves. And we saw the squirrel on a blanket. Now we've got all our beautiful 4 parts of speech here. We've got our adjective. We're going to sing quickly. Adjective, adjective, noun. Adjective, adjective, noun. Adjective, adjective, noun, verb, prepositional phrase. What does that mean again? Describing word, person, place, or thing. Describing word, person, place, or thing. Describing word, person, place, or thing. Action word, prepositional phrase. Now we've got all our 4 parts of speech here. We're always going to start with our topic. And I did forget to add a sketch of a squirrel. Remember I told you it doesn't have to be perfect. So here's my squirrel. And here's my squirrels. And now we're going to sing our song with all our parts of speech. We always start with the topic, the main idea, which is our subject. Our subject is squirrels. Now I'm going to choose 2 adjectives that describe the squirrel. Yeah, I liked furry. And I liked curious and injured too, but I'm going to stick with gray. We can choose 2 other ones next time. What was a squirrel doing? Yeah, I did see him climb, explore, nibble, dart. I'm going to go with explore because I know that's what you're doing right now when you go out into nature. And then where was that squirrel exploring? Well, I could do in a cage, but I'm going to try on a blanket. And now we're going to sing all 4 parts of speech together like this and do our gestures. Furry gray squirrels, furry gray squirrels, furry gray squirrels, explore on a blanket. Yay! It's our complete sentence with all our 4 parts of speech. Thanks for coming in today, friends. Make your own sentence patterning chart at home. Add more adjectives. What did you see? What does the squirrel look like? What would it feel like? Add some more actions, the verbs that you saw the squirrel doing, and then add some more prepositional phrases. Where was a squirrel? Or maybe, what time was it? Thanks, everybody. See you next time.
Thank you, Miss French. We're going to read a book together, but before we do, let's think about some of the words we wrote in our sentence and think about what was from nature and what was human-made or not from nature, right? And remember, human-made means made by people. So I'm thinking about a couple of things that you wrote. We have in a cage, under a branch, near some leaves, and on a blanket. Okay, so I'm thinking about what's something from this list that's human-made or made by people. I think I heard someone say in a cage. Yeah, cages are human-made or made by people. So now we're going to read to find out a little bit more about what happens when things in our environment that are human-made meet things in our environment that are from nature. Let's read All the Way to the Ocean. It's a book by a man named Joel Harper. He's the author, and that means he wrote the words. The illustrator's name is Mark Sputza, and the illustrator is the person who draws the pictures. So we're going to read a little bit to find out about what happens when things that are human-made meet things that are made in nature. Every day, Isaac and his best friend James ride their skateboards home from school. "Let's go to my house," said James. "Want a piece of candy?" "Sure," said James. "Hey, what are you doing?" asked Isaac. "Did you just drop your wrapper into a storm drain?" Here's the storm drain. "Yeah, what's the big deal?" asked James. It's a big deal because these drains go all the way to the ocean, just like the sign says. What do you think happens when our trash ends up in the ocean? Asked Isaac. I don't know, what? Asked James. The plants and animals get really sick, that's what. Look at all that trash that's already in there, cried Isaac. And guess what? As soon as it rains, all that trash goes straight into the ocean. Take a minute and think. Why do you think the trash goes to the ocean when it rains? Yeah, the water collects on the ground, and then it moves that trash towards the ocean. How do you know? Asked James. Because I read about it in National Geographic Kids. Are you sure that stuff goes all the way to the ocean? Asked James. I'm positive, said Isaac. Mom, do the storm drains around town go all the way to the ocean? Asked James. They sure do. Why do you ask? Isaac jumped in and said, because James threw trash in the storm drain on the way home from school. He didn't know they drain all the way to the ocean. Isaac is right about the storm drains, said James's mother. Just think about all the harmful things that could happen when our trash ends up in the ocean. All kinds of marine life. Here's some different marine life or animals. All kinds of marine life are getting sick and their homes are becoming polluted. Sometimes they get stuck in our garbage. Look at all of these animals. How do you think they feel having all of that garbage or trash in their home? How would you feel if people were putting trash or garbage where you live? Do all storm drains go to the ocean? Asked James. Yes, they do, said his mother. That's why it's important to remember not to throw trash on the ground. Because when it rains, all of that trash and even pet waste go into the storm drains and run down to the lakes, rivers, and ocean. Fish and birds often mistake trash for food. When they eat it, they get sick. Sometimes sea turtles will eat plastic bags thinking they're jellyfish. Jellyfish make a great lunch for a sea turtle, but plastic bags don't. I'm seeing that sea turtle about to eat that plastic bag. Mom, can our drinking water get polluted too? Asked James. Yes, it sure can. Runoff from storm drains can harm drinking water and other areas like beaches. Sometimes beaches have to be closed because the water is too dirty to swim in. I'm noticing a sign that says beach closed, avoid water contact. Have you ever gone to a beach or to a river or lake and had it be closed because the water was too dirty to swim in? If not, can you think of a time that you went somewhere and you noticed that the water may have looked a little bit dirty? Pollution sure causes a lot of problems. Why do people litter so much? Litter is when people throw trash on the ground instead of the trash can. That's a good question, Isaac. Maybe some people aren't aware of the harmful effects that pollution or trash have on the environment. Or maybe they think the ocean is so big that it has room for our trash. Sadly, that's not true. The ocean has more life in it than any other ecosystem on Earth, and we need to take better care of it, said James's mother. "Hey, Isaac, you know all those gutters by school?" asked James. "Yeah," said Isaac. "I always see trash in them. Let's ask our teacher if our class can pick up trash around the school so it doesn't end up in the storm drains." "Good idea. Maybe the whole school can pitch in. There's a lot of trash," said Isaac. James and Isaac's teacher thought a schoolyard cleanup was a great idea. After their classmates learned about storm drain pollution, they wanted to help clean up their environment. Many of the students even picked up garbage around their own neighborhoods. So let's think together. What are some of the things you and your friends and your family can do in your community to help prevent storm drain pollution? So let's think. Is there something that you can do today, or that's something that you can do this week with your family that could help move some of that trash away from the ground so that it doesn't go into the storm drains? I enjoyed reading with you today, and I hope we get to read together again soon. Okay, friends, before we go out to our sit spot, let's get up and stretch. All right, let's pretend to be our squirrels. All right? Okay, so let's get into our squirrel body, and let's practice climbing up the tree like a squirrel. Scurry, scurry, up the tree. Scurry, scurry, up the tree. Let's get some of those acorns. Are you ready? We're gonna reach to the left, and we're gonna reach to the right. Grab some acorns from the left, from the right, from the left, from the right. You can do it with me. From the left, from the right. Now up, way up top, from the left, from the right. All right. Now that we have all those acorns, let's practice being a little acorn and growing into that big tree we read about last time. Ready? Okay, let's start way down small. Way down small. Get your back nice and round. And okay, let's grow into that tree together. Are you ready? Nice and slowly. We're gonna grow, 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 grow. Get those branches up way high. Oh, stretch. Wave in the wind to the right. Wave in the wind to the left. Okay, now we're gonna go out to the garden to our sit spot. Are you ready? Let's go. Thanks for joining me in my sit spot. Every day when we're together, it will be helpful if you bring something to write with, like a pencil, and something to write on, like a piece of paper or a notebook. If you don't have those things today, it's okay. But I'm going to use this to help write down things that I observe while we're together. Before we start though, let's take a couple of minutes to take some deep breaths together and get calm. So you can breathe in and out with me. Let's breathe in and out. And in and out. And in and out. Next, let's check in with our feelings. How do you feel today? Let's look at our feelings tree to help us. Maybe you're feeling happy. Maybe you're feeling a little frustrated. You might even be feeling a few things at the same time, and that's okay. However you're feeling today is okay. But it can be helpful when we get in our sit spot to take some breaths and check in with our feelings, because when we're calm, it can help us with our observations. But sometimes just being in our sit spot and looking at nature can help us get calm as well. We've already been in this sit spot before, so today we're going to be thinking about something a little bit different. Today we're going to look around and think about what might be human-made and what might be from nature. And I think that we're going to see things that are both. So I'm going to look around and you can look with me. I I see some planters. And those planters to me look like they're human-made. But the planters are holding lots of different flowers and other types of plants. And those are from nature. I'm feeling the sun on my skin, and I'm also noticing that right now I'm just under the sky, which is from nature. But behind me, there are a few things that are human-made. I notice, I'm not exactly sure what this is called, right? But it's tall and it's curved. And I'm noticing that provides a little shade in the walkway, right? And that looks human-made. I'm also noticing over here, it almost looks like a little house or a shed. In fact, there's another shed over there. I'm not sure if you can see it. But this is another place that provides some shade for either people or plants. And that's made by humans. Just like last time, I'm seeing some things fly around the garden. And today I actually see a wasp, which I didn't see last time. But that wasp is from nature. And any other animals that we might see would be from nature too. So later, when you go to your sit spot, you can take your pencil or pen or something to write with. You can take a notebook or paper or just something to write on. And you can sit and be calm and observe things in nature, things that are both from nature or things that humans or people have made. And we want to hear from you. So whether you draw some of your observations or write them down or take a photo, you can send them to us. We would love to hear about what you're doing out in nature in your sit spot. Can't wait to see you again soon.
I wonder what made the deep grooves in the path. I wonder, is the beetle on the deck for a reason, or is he lost? I wonder, who made this wall? Is it a wall? I wonder, is the growing grass strong enough to crack the pavement? I wonder, are the geese trying to escape a predator? I wonder, how did humans decide what nature to keep when they were building the houses? I wonder, are the rocks connected to the quarry nearby? I wonder, is the cairn, the stack of rocks, communicating something?